Hey everybody, and welcome to June 2018. Just like last month, we're going to talk about the many games coming out for free with a PlayStation Plus subscription. Games will be free starting June 5th, the first Tuesday of the new month. And something interesting to note is that there are no cross-buy games at all this time, meaning that there are strictly 2 games for each console. So let's jump right into this, starting with the PS4 games. First up is Trials Fusion, a fun side-scrolling motorcycle physics game. The game features a wide variety of tracks and a level editor where people have put up some incredibly creative tracks for you to try out. Trials games have made a name for themselves by having explosive cinematics and breathtaking tracks and atmospheres, and Trials Fusion is no different. This game has a good challenge, at least until you get to the harder tracks. This is where most people start to lose their minds, since at its peak, this game is arguably one of the hardest games ever created. It takes time, commitment, and the ability to overcome some intense frustration. Almost to the point where you don't feel satisfied beating it, since you just move on to an even more insane challenge. But regardless, outside of these levels, the game is great, and is extremely fun to play multiplayer, where you can challenge friends both online and offline. This game received a 79% on Metacritic, and gets my seal of approval as well. Next up is XCOM 2. I don't need to say much about this game, because it's one of the best PS4 games out there, and if you haven't picked it up before, you have to take this opportunity to get it. XCOM was a phenomenal game, but XCOM 2 improved upon it on almost every single area. The strategy that goes into it, as well as the resource management, means that you have to be watchful about every aspect of the gameplay, and it allows for a large number of different playstyles. For those that played the first game, you'll notice that one of the bigger changes is the new classes introduced, but I believe that it's for the better. This game also has permadeath, where you can lose certain crew members along your journey, meaning this game is also stressful and suspenseful, but in a good way. I can't recommend this game enough. This one alone makes PS Plus worth it for the month. It received an 87% on Metacritic. And now onto the PS3 games, and we're starting with Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. I'll start by saying this. The campaign was good, but short, and not really worth the investment. The online mode, absolutely incredible. This game nails online shooter gameplay, so for those of you that are looking for that type of experience, this one is a no-brainer. Many also view this game as being a good entry point for people interested in the series. Most of the criticisms, like poor character development and a shallow story, only affect the campaign, while the realistic and diverse experience for online stands out among other shooters. This game received a 79% on Metacritic. The second PS3 game on the list is Zombie Driver HD Complete Edition. This is the type of game that is only worth trying if it can be picked up for free, and thankfully, it can be. It looks and has the vibe of Grand Theft Auto 2, but with absolute chaos and destruction going on instead of a normal city. Cinematically, I don't have a problem with this game, but there just isn't much to the gameplay. You drive around the city looking for survivors and trying to defend against the hordes of zombies. The main issue here is that this game would be a fun multiplayer game, if only it had multiplayer. Arcade games like this benefit from a versus or co-op mode where you can compete to rack up points, and this game sadly lacks that. It'll probably entertain you for a couple hours or so, but this game won't be anything to write home about. This game received a 64% on Metacritic. And lastly, we're moving on to our PS Vita games for the month. Let's start with Atomic Ninjas. This game is great when played online, specifically in deathmatch mode. At times, this game is just pure mayhem, and with friends it can be an absolute blast. But that's the kicker. You better have friends with this game or that will be picking it up, because otherwise it's a pretty dead experience. The online rooms are not populated anymore, and honestly, they weren't that active back in 2013 when the game came out. With 3 other friends, this game is a blast, and classifies as a fun party game. But just like what I said with Zombie Driver, you won't find yourself invested for a long stretch of time. It's an average party game worth playing at least once, especially since you can pick it up for free now. This game received a 61% on Metacritic. And last on our list is Squares. This game is about as simple as games can get, but it's a great time killer for those looking to test their reflexes. The objective here is to tap, slide, or avoid all the squares on the screen before the timer runs out. You avoid red squares, tap blue squares, and sometimes may end up double tapping or sliding. It's such a simple concept, but it's extremely fun to test your ability to react to what appears on the screen. At the end of the day, there isn't much going on with this game, but it's a fun addition on the side of another big game. And unfortunately, this is yet another month where the Vita doesn't seem to get any sort of full-on video game, just more small arcade-style games. Which isn't surprising when you look at the Vita's library. This game received a 67% on Metacritic. So there you have it. Overall, I'd say Sony beat Microsoft out on the games coming out for free this month, primarily because of the 2 strong PS4 releases. And I will say, if you want to, you still have time to pick up the free PS Plus games for May 2018. Today is the last day for it, so get on it if you still want some good games like Beyond Two Souls and Rayman Legends. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next video.